So style. We're in a mall. We're near Coach and Banana Republic and Club Monaco and feeling probably like it's spring and it might be time to update your wardrobe. And how can you do that and not pay out the nose?
So one of our biggest things, I know we always talk a lot about don't spend a lot of money on things, but what we found just through the quality of clothing that we bought is a smarter way to sort of go about it is we would rather invest in staple items in our wardrobe, whether it's a black sweater, a cardigan, a white blouse, a pair of good jeans. We would rather spend the money on those items that will last us. I mean, I've had stuff from Club Monaco actually for 7 or 8 years and it looks brand new. We'd rather invest the money on that stuff and have it for years rather than spend money probably every season buying the same thing over and over again because it's falling apart. So it's just important to know what items you want to invest in and other items that you don't necessarily stuff. Like a lot more of the trendy clothes like at Zara, Forever 21 and H&M.
Superstore is great.
Superstore, Joe Fresh. We are big fans of it. He's the designer from Club Monaco. These are things you can get that, you know, they're not going to last for years to come, but they're things that are trendy and you want to be in style, but you're not spending a lot of money. So we found really cool ways on how we can get around that without spending a fortune.
And another thing we do is we have clothing exchanges, and my mom and her girlfriends have actually started doing this too. And it doesn't just have to be clothes. It can be, you know, that bottle of shampoo that you opened once and didn't like. So you take all that stuff you're not using anymore to, you know, get together with your friends and trade basically. So, you know, it's all about recycling as well and not throwing things away that you're not going to use. Someone else will use them, and that's how we get most of our clothing.
Katie had one in the fall.
I was gonna say, oh my goodness, I got rid of. I had bags of clothes that, you know, there were higher quality clothes. I didn't necessarily want to give them away to the Goodwill or the Salvation Army, and I thought, you know, someone could use these. They just don't fit me properly, or I'm not wearing them. So I got rid of 2 bags of clothes and got in exchange probably $500 worth of shirts and jackets that I wear all the time, and that was last fall. And you know, I
Probably
love those
spend like
things.
$50 or something.
Oh yeah, no, it was incredible. So something that Andrea touched on, and I think it's important to note, you know, we're in a mall, is if you do decide to invest in a piece, maybe it's a jacket or a good pair of shoes, be sure to monitor the prices. A lot of stores will do a price matching. The Gap is a great example of somewhere for, I believe, 30 days. If you buy an item and then it goes on sale, they'll be willing to give you the differential between your full price and your sale price. So it's something to really bear in mind.
Who here has done that? Shop comparison. You know, where you find an item at a store and then it's cheaper at another store and you can go and take the flyer.
Or it's called, the other thing, what we're talking about is called price protection, right?
That too,
so
yeah.
if the price drops, you can take your receipt in and they'll refund you the difference. So now, who here has bought something online or through eBay? It's a bit more scary. So I'm going to give you some tips on buying things online and how to protect yourself. So the first thing is, you know, when you're buying through eBay or through any website, really look at the fine print, find out, you know, what their return policies are. We suggest if you are buying on eBay, look at the seller's comments. And if someone has, you know, a comment that's not so great, don't buy from them. And, you know, I've fallen into this trap before. I've really wanted something and there's been a tick against that person and I thought, oh, it will be fine, and I have lost out in the end. So the other thing we want you to do is use your credit cards or use PayPal. Both of these programs have a way that you can dispute something if the item comes to you and it's not what you thought, or if you never received the item. And the other thing is, when you are having something shipped to you, pay a little more and get it sent through registered mail, and ask the seller to send you your tracking number. That way you can track it and you'll know exactly when they sent it to you and when it will be receiving. And if you do buy something with your credit card or through PayPal, and something happens, like I mentioned, you can either go back to the seller or you can just contact them directly and they'll get involved. So that cuts you out of it completely. And I have had situations like this where I've had to go to PayPal and put in a complaint and they've got my money back for me. So it's not as scary as we think.
Now, socializing, that's an important part of our life and something that actually can add up. In a lot of cases, what we were finding was birthdays. Birthdays come around. We're in spring now. I can't tell you how many people I know are born between April and June. And it was becoming so expensive to go out to these parties and to be buying gifts and to just be spending all of this money.
So something we started doing was we are all avid readers, and we made a deal with each other that instead of going out and spending money on each other when we had a housewarming or a birthday party or Christmas, we were going to pass on a book that we really enjoyed to that person. So it costs us nothing. We basically get a book that we've loved, we put a little inscription in the front, and we give that to each other. And I mean, we save money on buying books as well. So
I just did that for your birthday, didn't I?
I've done that like at least 3 or 4 times, and honestly, the personability about it, like just something personal about it, friends love that sort of thing.
Now, something to keep in mind, and we've certainly been on the receiving end of gift cards, and we've also purchased gift cards, is gift cards, and the regulations are changing, but it's really important when you purchase a gift card to check with the retailer to make sure that just to know whether or not they have an expiry date. In some cases they may, in some cases they may not. And also to see if there are any associated fees. Sometimes there can be fees tacked on for if the card hasn't been used, you get charged additional money off of that card. So what we like to do when we give gift cards is buy at a store that we know this person is shopping at, where they've maybe requested a specific item. We don't know the size, we don't know exactly what it looks like. And then what we try and do is actually set a time to go shopping with them, make an afternoon of it. So maybe we will go for lunch and then go with them to purchase their item.
Yeah, and what I like to do is instead of buying specifically for a store, you can buy for a mall. So Metrotown sells gift cards for the whole mall, and that way people can shop wherever they want, and then you know for sure that will be used.
I think one of the biggest things for us when it came to socializing, because we did a lot of this, we'd go out for dinners and then drinks, and next thing you know, you've racked up a bill of $80 to $100, and we were like, where did our money go? So one sort of thing we've done, and a lot of our friends have actually adopted this philosophy, if we're going out to socialize, we'll often actually have dinner at home first, and then we'll just go out for a drink or two. It's amazing how much money you can save. Or if you want to go out and socialize and eat as well, we share a lot of the appetizers, to be quite honest. We don't need to be spending $30, $40 on an entree. We share appetizers. We're just smarter about that. We're more conscious because when we sort of set aside a certain amount of spending money each week, we wanted to be really conscious of that and didn't want to blow it all in one evening. So.
And sometimes the portions are massive. So you're ordering an appetizer and it could actually feed 2 people. So we always look only at the left-hand side of the menu when we go out together. Now, a final thing, and who here is on Facebook or is using Twitter? We spend a lot of time on Facebook and in social media, and something just to be very, very conscious of, because we are here talking about ways to protect ourselves against potential fraudulent situations or identity theft, is Facebook is a gold mine for fraudsters to go and find information and in essence copy your identity. So really limit the personal information that you have on there. So I challenge you all to go home today, if you are on Facebook, and look at if you have your workplace posted, if you have your birth date posted, if you have your email posted. Those are all things that can be used to take advantage of your identity, and we want you to take those off and really be conscious of protecting yourselves when you're using social media sites.